All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Ricky's podcast number 17. Best podcast on the platform. Coming to you almost live. Except probably a week later. Because that's just the way we roll. All right. We're back. Podcast number 17 coming at you. Yeah, I gotta get better at posting these things closer to the time I record them because, this last one with Justin, man, like, I'd been just sitting on that thing for, like, I think well over a week or two. And just, it was just terrible, man, because we recorded the first half with him, like, 2 weeks ago, and then I recorded my half, like, the next week, and then, like, a week after that was when I finally, did the minuscule amounts of editing I do anyways, and then posted it. So, it's just absolute nonsense. I gotta get better at that. But, hey, it's just the way it's my process. Don't mess with the process, man. But, anywho, we're back. Another one. Next week is finals week, which should be a good time as always. Yeah, I'm not too worried, if I'm being honest. Music theory is going to be a rough final, but it always is. But that's really the only one, What do I have left? I've got jazz improv, which is going to be, of course, you never know, but I imagine it's going to go very well. Because, I always do well in that class. And, Tuesday. So that one's Monday, and then Tuesday's conducting, which I also think should go very well. It's open note, and I've got, as long as it's, as long as it's close to the study guide, I've pretty much got this in the bag, because, pretty much just right into the answers with study guide, and you're good. So that should be a good time, doing some good stuff. Found a ton of Wes Montgomery solos to transcribe, so I will get on that at some point. So that's just some, school stuff. Got to get the boring stuff out of the way so you can get to the juicy, meaty bits, I guess. Unfortunate, sad day all around. Biotechnology class is over. It couldn't last forever, but it's finally over. I did my last test for that thing tonight, just finished that up, and now it's over forever, man. Rest in peace, dude, rest in peace. No more biotechnology tidbits. It's all just sad day, man, but hey, finished off strong, learned about CRISPR, that cloning thing. Yeah, apparently that's they actually started to develop it more now. Because I think before when I heard about it, it was still in kind of the theory phase, where they were like, we can snip out pieces of DNA, re-encode them, and put them back in, and we could theoretically create our own humans. But apparently it's actually been done now. Apparently 2018 in China, there's apparently a scientist who decided to test out this new CRISPR thing on a couple of little Chinese girls, unborn in embryo. And I guess he pulled the technology to make them, I guess, theoretically resistant to HIV. Which, if it works, fair game. But, yeah, apparently, not to pull out my Fallout 4 references this early, but pretty much the whole scientific community hated that. Because he just kind of went rogue for a bit to, genetically modify some kids. Which, at that time, the kind of technology hasn't really been tested on people yet. So just to kind of go balls deep immediately, kind of, wasn't looked on very well, but he managed to do it. I could, I could try to look up some more details on that, but apparently, yeah. And I guess more the reason why he did it, I guess the two girls' father had HIV, so I guess that was the worry that they might catch it. So he kind of felt more justified. But yeah, a lot of the Asian scientists are really getting into it because I was in China. Apparently, Korea, there was a guy who makes cloned puppies. That's a whole other thing, cloning. We also covered. So yeah, he clones dogs. And again, apparently all the other scientists don't like him either. But you know, what are you gonna do? Sometimes people just ain't ready for progress, man. But I don't know. Is it unethical? Probably, but what are you gonna do about it? Man, I need to develop the skill of talking and typing at the same time because trying to type and talk and it's rough. Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything whilst talking at the same time, but just looks like yeah, it looks like oh, I think I might find the guy. Let's see, I found a Wikipedia article. I know this is riveting, hearing my dead silence for a bit. Yeah, looks like if anybody wants to put in more research, the scientist's name was He Jiankui. Jiankui? I don't know, spelled He space, then last name Jiankui was the guy. And he, yeah, made some twin girls genetically resistant to HIV. I mean, allegedly. I mean, it's only been 2 years, so who knows? But apparently that was the purpose. And apparently some, kind of problems with that, I guess, was that we don't really know what editing that particular gene might have, what the unintended consequences might be. Because we covered that, sometimes, maybe editing one gene might, like if you make yourself more resistant to one disease, you might become less resistant to something else. Or, just kind of the whole tampering with something, you might mess something up, and we don't really know much about it yet, so, at the moment, it's kind of best to leave it alone, apparently. But, I guess we'll see, man. I mean, maybe this will all pay off, but I don't know. So that was 2 years ago. And there's that Korean scientist making clones. All in all, just, Asia's just a half a century ahead of us. I don't know what to tell you. But, I don't know. So that's that. Learned about some Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. Apparently it's a disease, muscular disease, as you could imagine. And mainly affects men. Pretty sexist disease, but hey, man, that's just the world sometimes. But it infects mostly men. Reason why is because it's an infection, I guess, or rather kind of like a defect in the X chromosome. The X sex chromosome, which, as anybody who might or might not know, females are made from 2 X chromosomes, but the males are just an X and a Y. So because it infects the X chromosome, and it's also recessive to the normal chromosome, which means if it's in a male, then they only have the one X, which is the not ideal one. So they get infected, or it's not an infection, but they get it. They get the muscular dystrophy. Meanwhile, like a woman has 2 X's, so if it gets one, she's still got the other one, so it doesn't infect them anywhere near as much. Again, I know, sexist disease, what are you gonna do? It's the world. But, so we learned about that. It's a muscle wasting disease, and yeah, pretty much it just eats away at the muscles. Around 2 years old, you kind of, you know, the kids kind of have some troubles walking, which of course, I imagine parents are like, well, they're 2 years old to give them a break, but turns out they've got it. So, it just gets worse. Legs don't want to work. They get older, they still won't work. Get a little bit older, their arms start, pulling some shenanigans on them. And then eventually around well, this is before modern treatments, but around 18 years or so, the lungs would just give out and boom, you're dead. But luckily now we've got some treatments to make you live a little bit longer. So we kind of learned about that. Learned about some treatments. Man, the treatments, man. A lot of the stuff we learned in this class, man, I never really feel all too comfortable describing them because they're just so complicated. I feel like I'd get them wrong all the time, but it's trying to remember, man, the exon something or other, which I think is also a type of I don't know. Brain just blanked for a second, trying to type and talk at the same time. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how loud it is over here in the mix here, but ladies and gentlemen, my sister playing her music in the other room, so I guess you guys have that to listen to. Exon skipping therapy. There it is. Exon skipping therapy. So I guess one of the treatments here, exon skipping therapy. Yeah, I guess we put in another I don't know if it is an exon, but basically we're taking the link of DNA. It has you know what? Why am I even trying to explain it? I'm not going to get any of these words right. Let me if only there's a way to see this written out, but alas, listen, you can look. It's called exon skipping therapy. Look that up on your own time. Do what you want to do because I'm going to get on the words wrong, but just kind of a general overview of the therapy. It's you've got a link of RNA, I think, and such, and you have two types of the links, the ones that don't code for anything and the ones that do code for this stuff. And basically, to get the RNA to code proteins, you got to do some splicing to turn the pre-RNA, which is the 2, into mRNA. So you got to take out the stuff that doesn't code so that the stuff that does code can code. And basically it just forms a string of code, and that creates your proteins. And basically what's wrong with the muscular dystrophy, I guess, is that that's all out of whack. So there's, links of the code that, that pull some shenanigans. And what exon skipping therapy is that it inserts another piece of code between the bad code and the good code to basically delete the bad code, essentially. You add it on, but basically it skips over, thus exon skipping, skips over the bad exon. I think those are called exons. Skips over it and it kind of deletes it, making the code shorter, makes it still functional so that you still get your proteins made. So that's basically the idea, and I guess it, it's not a cure, but it makes things better, makes you live longer, so, what are you gonna do? It's all you can get, so you take what you can get. Anywho, so that's kind of what we've been thinking about. Went over some possible cancer treatments. I don't remember if I went over these in the last one, but essentially one's a virus. You infect yourself with a virus, but this one targets cancer, so you got that going for you. And so basically, that's basically our overview of biotechnology, man. That's it. That's the end. Sad times, but you know what? Maybe I'll come up with some other information to share with you guys. Maybe I'll get good. So, who's to say? Who's to say? Yeah. Of course, me being me, I gotta talk about video games. Sorry, guys. Guy, nobody listens to this podcast. But listen, man, it's just what I like to talk about. Finished Prey, 2017 Prey. Excellent game. Fantastic game. 10 out of 10, man. Loved it. Loved it so much. Is it better than Bioshock? I think so, man. Honestly, if I'm being real, it might be. It does have some unique weak points, but I think all in all, it's probably better than Bioshock, man. Greater freedom, because it's more or less open world, kind of. You just have the whole space station to go around. But just the freedom, man, just the ability to go where you want to go, do what you want to do, and basically it gives you the tools and you figure it out, which I just love, man. I don't feel boxed in, I just do what I want to do. I think one thing, of course, the ending. Not the real ending, but, not the post-credits ending. Spoiler alert, by the way. Spoiler alert for Prey. I'm going to spoil it all. Don't listen. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to put this to the end so that you don't have to skip the whole podcast just because you don't want to get Prey spoilers. So, put a pin in that. I'll talk about it. End of the podcast just to finish it up. So, remember to remind me about that, folks. You can't, but maybe if you scream loud enough, maybe I'll remember. So, anywho, skip over that. I started playing Far Cry 2. Far Cry 2, apparently the good Far Cry. So, we'll see. We'll see. It barely started. Something I always found it a little bit more difficult to get into these type of era of games. Because it kind of goes for the more realistic aspect, but this is realistic for like 2006 or whenever this thing came out. I don't know if I can read the thing. 2008, I guess. Yeah, I think 2008 is when it came out. So it's just, the graphics are just super dated, which I always found it, because like pure kind of retro graphics are easier because you can tell that they were made to be kind of stylized. And that's really kind of the thing with like games that try to go for realism, is that, they will inevitably come out dated in the future, but I'll try not to let that stop me. But started off interesting kind of opening, man. I'd say definitely probably the most interesting Far Cry opening ever, because pretty much they all open the same. It feels like just, you're just a normal dude trying to do some normal stuff, you're just a bro hanging out with your bros, just doing bro stuff on your vacation, or you're just a normal dude trying to spread your mother's ashes, as you do. Or you're just a deputy trying to arrest this crazy cult dude, But this one, you're like, you're a mercenary trying to assassinate this arms dealer. And, bada bing, bada boom, it happens to the best of us, you catch malaria. Bound to happen, hanging around in Africa, no mosquito protection, just going out, freeballing it in Africa, just doing your normal. I think my character's Russian, so just doing your normal Russian thing. Don't know what you're doing, so you catch malaria. Happens to the best of us. And then you just, shenanigans ensue, catch malaria. You gotta hunt down the jackal. Jackal visits you in your hotel. I guess, mission almost accomplished. He's right there. But he just kind of shows up to taunt you and then leaves. Interesting introduction, man. Now that I haven't played the Far Cry 1, and unfortunately, I kind of can't because I don't have a PC that, I don't play PC, unfortunately. I don't even have a Windows computer, so oh well, I'm stuck with PlayStation, and it's not on PlayStation, so what are you gonna do? But just judging by 2 through 5, trying to rank the villain introductions, man, it was a pretty good one, pretty solid, It's just, I don't know, I really like the Jackal's, like, kind of his rhythm to his speech, man. They all, but I kind of noticed this with other characters too. They all kind of talk like a little too fast than like normal talking. Like just look up some cutscenes with this guy, man. Like, and you'll see like he kind of talks like a little too fast. You know, like he's just a little bit. It's like weird because he comes off a little bit deranged, but not like Voss, where he's just, because Voss is just like clearly out of his goddamn mind. But this is a guy who's like still, like he still seems reasonable, but he's just, you can tell something's a little bit off about him. That's the thing. He's just like subtly off, subtly insane. And I feel like that's kind of the theme because, I don't know, it kind of has the reputation as being the most grounded Far Cry, the most realistic Far Cry, the most, the best Far Cry, depending on who you ask. And it's one of those things too, man. Like, apparently two's been the Far Cry that's had the most, like, academic stuff written about it and such. It's one of those things that, man, I think they need, I want like not a remake necessarily. I mean, that would be nice. I mean, that'd be fantastic, but like, even just a remaster to update it to the new platforms with like the updated controls, because, I don't know, that's one of the things that I always found just a slightly jarring about going back to PS3 games, is that the controls are swapped for shooting. I don't know why that was a change. I feel like just stick with one or the other, but what are you gonna do? But yeah, the controls are all kind of a little bit mishmashed, so if you're kind of going by muscle memory, you can mess yourself up a little bit. But, just a remaster for modern platforms, modernized controls, better graphics, I mean, better performance, I guess. I've never been huge for performance, just pretty much as long as it's, not a slideshow, I'm fine. 30 frames, 60 frames, I'll take whatever, as long as it's playable, And that's kind of where I stand on that. But hey, throw it in for the people who, want it. And yeah, that'd be fantastic, I'd love it. That's what I really kind of want, man. Updated Far Cry 2. Because I always heard that that's the best. And just playing a little bit, it seems pretty good. I really kind of like the map system. Because it's just, such a non-video gamey map. Because first of all, time doesn't stop. So, you get that nice little sense of danger, I guess, every time you check your map. I don't know. I mean, I've only gotten a little bit into it. I haven't gotten too far, so for all I know, it's all downhill from here. But hey, for the moment, it's great. So I've been playing a little bit of that. I really like the Jackal's delivery, but since I've only seen the villain introductions, man, maybe I could rank them, man. Here we go. Far Cry series villain rankings. This will include Far Cry's 2, 3, 4, 5, and New Dawn. Yeah, okay. So bringing up the bottom, least impactful, least cool. I think probably New Dawn, because I can barely remember the opening. Barely. And I feel like that in and of itself is a problem, so I'm just gonna, and plus, I think, what are they named? Rick, or not Ricky, that's my name, but Mickey and Lou, I don't know, I think they're like the least, I feel like they were the least notable villains in the whole Far Cry series, I feel like. Again, haven't played one, so that's the one that that's the only one I can't really comment on. Or really the only mainline Far Cry game I can't really comment on. So, so that's just out of the whole persuasion. But I don't know, New Dawn, it's got to bring down at the bottom. Then 5, because it was the only one that wasn't like excellent. Because 2, 3, and 4's villain introductions were just like, just so good, I feel like. So 5's just got to bring at the bottom because, he just, the cult leader guy, kudos to the actor. He did great. That's not the problem. I think the writing is really more what it is. They just wrote him as just your normal, average, everyday cult leader. And it's just, yeah, the other villains were like 3 and 4's villains, Voss and Pagan Min were both like raving psychopaths. But I don't know, they had like some charm to them and stuff. So 5's got to bring out second to last. Sad days for the both of them. But really, every other introduction I feel like after that is fantastic. Okay, now it gets hard. 2, 3, and 4, trying to set that order. Oh, I forgot. Man, I've only played a little bit of Far Cry Primal. I didn't even think about that. I haven't gotten that far into that one either. I guess what the kind of main villain is like Ull. I don't know. I don't think I've been. You know what? I think I'll come back later once I've played that game and put that in the ranking. I'll tell you afterwards. So this will have to be whatever. So skipping over that one too. Sorry, folks, but it's Far Cry Primal. Who cares? I'm kidding. It's got its fans, man. Far Cry Primal has its fans, I'll tell you that. But yeah, I'm just not going to do that. Plus, I don't think he has the most notable entrance anyways. So, whatever. From what I can remember. I'm not even sure I've even gotten that far, but, but nobody talks about Ull, I mean, nobody talks about Mickey and Lou, but nobody talks about Ull, I'll tell you that, huh? Joseph Seed, for as bland a villain he was, man. At least you remember his name. And Mickey and Lou can, maybe kind of... Ull, who cares? So, you know what? This is totally unprofessional, but you know what? Bottom of the list, Ull. I'm just gonna... I don't even know why I'm doing this, I didn't even play the game. I don't know why I have to do Ull so dirty, but oh well. I'm just not even going to put him into the ranking. So yeah, Mickey and Lou in the bottom. Joseph Seed, second to last. Man, number 3. I got to really think about this one. Man, the Jackal, Voss, Pagan Min. Oh. I'm trying to arrange it, man. At this point, I'm trying to work my way back. Think of who's number 1. Who's number 1? Okay, I'm pretty sure I know who's number 1. God. Oh, again, this is all just a personal reference, so this is probably not the definitive ranking. It's definitely not the definitive ranking because I haven't played 1. I haven't played Primal. So those are 2 major titles that, I just haven't gotten into. So this is nowhere close to official anyways. You know what? Dang it, I'm going to do it. Number 3, Pagan Min, I think. It's got to be his introduction. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Just on the bus, rolls up with his goons at the bus. He does the villain thing, which I guess is part of the reason why he loses a couple points. Just because I've seen it so much in other... movies, games, whatever, where, basically the henchman does something that the bad guy didn't really want them to do. So he's like, oh, I told you not to do this, and then proceeds to shoot the henchman. He pulls that, and I mean, it's good, it was handled well, but still, man, it reminds me of that part from Uncharted 2, where Lazarevich does the same thing. Is what just immediately came to mind when I talked about that. But, I've just seen it other places, so I kind of get, onto it. So, number 3, Pagan Min. Fantastic opening, I will say. Fantastic. And I think I'll include as part of the opening, too, the whole dinner scene conversation. It was cool, man. It was cool stuff. which means number 2, which this one's going to be easier because I feel like number 3 was probably the hardest actually. Because number 2 is going to have to go to the Jackal because, as much as, I was just thinking it's either Voss or Jackal for number 1. And as much as I love the Jackal's opening, I just don't think it beats. So, so the Jackal's number 2. Just remember that line, you don't kill me, nobody kills me, that whole and he just I just love his kind of rhythm of speech. You just got to listen to it for yourself, man. He's got a very distinct rhythm that he talks in that just makes it for me. Just talks a little bit too fast, a little, just slightly. It's not even like Voss where he's just a raving psychopath, but he just kind of has that edge where he's just clearly been in the game for too long. I mean, the actor just did a fantastic job. I mean, although the thing is, other characters have this similar speech pattern, which makes me wonder if that's just a directing thing where they all kind of ordered to do that. But again, haven't gotten too into it. But that opening was just fantastic, where you're just, dying from malaria, and he's just reading your instructions, the instructions to kill him back to you. And I just remember where he just says something like, well, I guess mission failed, because, I'm still alive and you're the one with malaria. So it was something like that. I don't know. I'm so bad at quoting things for word, but that was just such a funny thing to me, I guess. And I love the nobody kills me kind of thing. And he just and that's the thing. I feel like the Jackal and Voss are two villains who are kind of the opposite. Again, I've only played a little bit of Far Cry 2. Maybe it changes up, but the Jackal's just kind of he's clearly nuts, but he's not outwardly as nuts. He's a lot more kind of calm and collected, but you can definitely see the raging menace kind of underneath. But he just, he's just more unsettling than anything. Whilst, and of course that means number 1, Voss. Classic scene in video game history, man, that opening. Where he's just showing webcam footage, or not webcam, what is it, a camcorder? That camcorder footage back to them. Just a fantastic thing. Man, and I mean, I could quote, some of his lines, but look, the whole thing's just absolutely classic. Love the, what was it, up there you thought you had your finger on the pussy trigger, but down here, but Armando down here, it's on some, I forgot the line, god damn it. That's what happens during these podcasts, man. I lose my head. I can't remember anything. But yeah, great line. I love that bit at the end where he just freaks out the guard for no apparent reason. And I don't know what it was, the line that made it for me is just boom, he gets on him, the guy freaks out, it's get you every time. I just love the implication that this is just his thing that he does to just his own men, just, threatens their lives, and then it's just, man, I get you every time, Hilarious. He's just an all-around hilarious dude. I forget the actor, something Mando, I think. Mondo. Fantastic actor. Saw him in Better Call Saul. Great actor in that too. Yeah, and now apparently what's his name is gonna be the villain in Far Cry 6, so I'm looking forward to that. Definitely, for sure. Yeah, man. I'm gonna play that as soon as it A comes out, B hopefully goes on sale, because I'm cheap. You know it. I know it. We all know it. But yeah, I feel happy with this ranking. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, number 6, Mickey and Lou. Number 5, Joseph Seed. Number 4, Pagan Min. Number, fuck, did I get? Oh, 5, man. It was only 5. I don't know what I'm talking about. Number 5, making Lou. Number 4, just to see. Number 3, okay. So basically, it's like descending order, except 2 and 3 are flipped, pretty much. I feel happy with that, you know. I debated for like a couple seconds putting the Jackal as number 1. But mostly I think that was more because everybody loves Voss, so I don't know, I just like to be a hipster. If you want to be a hipster, then why do you play Far Cry games? You know, shut up, man. But look, there you go, my ranking. I'm practically Watch Mojo now, so you can just like and subscribe and become a something or other today. So yes, that's that. You know, I'm excited to play some more Far Cry 2. Just talking about it, I don't know what it is. Put me in the mood. Put me in the mood. However, one thing I am sad about is that I would love to get the platinum, but I don't see that happening. I haven't tried, but even if the servers are open, like, apparently it's difficult nonetheless anyways, just to, you know, get those multiplayer trophies. You know, because I know the single player, I can do anything single player, but that multiplayer stuff, man, it kills me, man. It's the killer to every trophy hunter, man. It's unfortunate because I wanted to make it a goal to platinum every Far Cry game just because I really love the series, you know, but twasn't to be, man. Twasn't to be. It's unfortunate. I just love it, you know. Wish I had a co-host, you know. It'd make these transitions so much easier. Just to have somebody else to bounce ideas off of. I keep on thinking about who I can con into doing an episode with me. Cause Justin, I try to con him like just about every week. And you know, he's a busy guy, I know, so he's never really available. And when he is available, he only makes it for like half an hour, so what are you gonna do? Nothing much, but hey, it be what it be, you know. It be what it be. So yeah, that's that. Don't mind that, just dropped a pick. It's all good. Part of the life of guitarist, you're gonna drop some picks from now and again. But anyway, that's that. Thinking I might con Luke into getting on here a little bit. Who knows? I might have to pull some kind of shenanigans to get him on here. You know what? I'll text him on the air. We'll text him right now. See what he's up to. I say texting, it's Messenger. Facebook Messenger, man. Honestly, Facebook Messenger is the only reason I still have a Facebook. Okay. Sorry, guys. It's going to be a little bit awkward because I got to type. You know how I do, typing and talking at the same time. But okay, but let me see if I can try it really quick. God, man, this is so... Even doing this is so hard. Yeah, it's hard to like type and then say something completely different at the same time. So that's why, again, I need to get a co-host, because then they could talk while I'm typing and it'll all be good. Yeah, one thing about it though, I don't know when his finals are. Because you know, what day is it today? It is Friday. So I guess it's more tomorrow. Yeah, I'll just leave it really general, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I'll leave it open-ended. I like to leave things open-ended, and then kind of have something up my sleeve, just in case. Although that's something, I don't know, I haven't worked with Luke in a while, but that's something that always works with Justin, where I'm just like, hey, are you available this weekend? And, well, I mean, usually he's like, no, I have a ton of stuff to do. But sometimes he'll be like, yeah, what are you thinking? I'm like, oh, wondering if you wanted to do something. Have anything in mind? He'll be like, no, you can you can choose. And then, boom, you got him. Coming for the podcast, buddy boy. And then he'll be like, well, yeah, buddy. But, it be what it be. It be what it be. Send. That's the thing. One thing I do with texts, somewhat unrelated. It is about texting, but I don't know if it's like a good thing or a bad thing. But sometimes I find myself overthinking texts where I'll be like, "Oh, does this come off kind of bitchy, or does it come off kind of apathetic? Do I seem like a bit of a jerk? In other words." But then I find that, whenever I get on that kind of train of thought, I'm always like, you know what? Just hit send. What's the worst that could happen? And then I do it. Hasn't backfired on me yet, but it feels a bit dangerous, I will say. Yeah. So that happened. Went to the library today. Did some working. Yeah, apparently they are considering maybe closing down to the public, or even, I don't know, but, we might close down again, unfortunately. The old numbers are, it's not looking good, Chief, We ain't doing so hot, but I don't know. Either way, given the option, I'm going to keep working, so, it's just my deal, Listen, man, I'm a greedy bastard. I want those dollar bills, y'all. Which, semi-unrelated note, man. That's one of the things I always like to do. Just like say rap lyrics as if they were just poetry. Just like, cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. Oh yeah. Good stuff. But, I don't know. It's just something stupid that I like to do. But what else is no? What else is no? Might just slap it. I don't know when his finals are. He probably has finals, in which case it'll be a no. Which is fine. I'm fine with it. Listen, man. No matter how many times he cancels on me, he won't be as bad as Justin. But let's see here. Let's see. Jesus, I gotta fucking type some shite. Yeah, wondering if you want to do something. Wanted. Just pulling some of the old grammar. Record un podcasto. Almost actually typed that. Record un podcasto. That's a question. What is podcast in Spanish? Leave a comment down below. I don't know. I started to get back into I'm starting to get back into learning Spanish. When I say I'm starting to get back into learning Spanish, I mean I started to get back into learning Spanish today. I got the Duolingo app. Yep, I did it. I'm back in the game, boys. But, okay, shit, I've got to actually write this text message. God damn it. Regarding I don't want to come off too bitchy. My brain, man. My brain's because I don't have my fan on. The fan keeps making all kinds of noise, so I've just got to, hashtag the deal with it. But I don't know. I like having some air on my face. You know what I'm saying? It's just I don't know if anybody can relate, but I just like having like just a gentle breeze on my face at all times. It makes me feel good. I don't know. These are the podcasts. Uh. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? This is so difficult because I keep feeling pressured to say something and just not have dead silence for like, a hot minute. But, but when I talk, I can't think about when I'm typing, so God damn it. I'll just say what I'm wondering if you wanted to do something. Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus. Or something. Fuck. I need to like shit. Fuck. I don't need to shit. I'm good. I took 2 shits like an hour ago, so I'm good on that. Yeah, that was a little bit frequent. Just like it felt like 2 back to back, man. I don't know, it was pretty weird, but so I think my bowels are thoroughly evacuated, if you know what I am saying. Okay. Perhaps I could con you to podcast. Okay. And does this need a question mark? These are the types of things that I never know if they need a question mark. I put, perhaps I could con you into doing a podcast or something, question mark. You know what? I'm going to do my thing. I'm thinking too much about it. Fuck it. Send. I hit the send button. It's out. Nothing to be done about it anymore. It's none of my problem anymore. So there you go. My magic technique at work. I call it just hit send. You're thinking about it, you're like, oh, am I going to come off like a jerk in this text? Oh, this email, oh, is it like, is he going to get what I'm saying, Screw it. Just hit send. If you hit send, you can't change it. It's done. You did what you had to do. It's in the world. Just hit send. Let all your problems just pour out of you like water from a fountain. Just calm. That's right. New yoga breathing exercises channel coming soon. It's happening, guys. It's happening. But hey ho. But anywho, so that's what I'm doing. Jesus. Hey, Ricky, stop looking at your channel while you're recording a podcast. Okay, Ricky, I'll do it. All right, I'm back. What was I talking about? I guess I was kind of ending that thing. So, yeah, I texted him. We'll see what happens. All goes well. I can maybe, pull some shenanigans to get him on. Who knows? He's our Harvard boy. Proud of him. He's our good little Harvard boy. Maybe he can maybe he can bring some intellectualness to this podcast, so that's just a little bit less trash than it usually is. I got to figure out how to do 2 recordings at the same time. How to record on 2 mics rather at the same time. Because I don't know how to do that. So who knows? I mean, he's like a tech guy, so maybe he can show me some tips or tricks or something. I don't know. We'll see. Hey, maybe he doesn't even want to do it. Who knows? But anywho, so this is that is that. Let's see. We're kind of nearing the end, so I don't know. Can I talk about Prey now? I don't know. First, let me think about what I watched lately. I sometimes like to throw that in a little bit too. What have I watched lately? I actually don't even know. I have no idea. I don't think I've watched a whole lot of television. Well, I mean, nobody watches television anymore. But I'm talking like streaming, Netflix, whatever you have. Fill in the blank. But I haven't done a whole lot of that lately. So I guess really nothing new to report. And what do I even do? What do I even do with my spare time? I guess I've been beating Prey. You know what? I'm talking about it. Prey, fantastic game. Fantastic game. One of the best openings ever. Love it. I mean, anybody who's played it knows exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, that was fantastic. One thing people say, I've heard people, because after I beat it, I listened to some of those video essays about it. And one thing I can't agree on is that the end of it, well, first of all, it goes on, I will agree, it goes on for, I think it outstays its welcome a little bit, man. Because I swear to God, a couple of times I was like, okay, this is the end. This is the final mission right here. And then it'll be like, huh, you thought, so what? You thought you're going to end this now? Lol. No. Guess what? There's going to be a mercenary that lands on your ship. You're going to have to deal with all those robots and, incapacitate him / kill him, whatever you choose to do. And then it's like, then you finally get rid of him. It's like, okay, now this is the ending. You're like, ha, lol, you thought? No, you got to I don't know, take snapshots of coral and stuff because screw you. And you got to develop a null wave device. And then that's the end of the game. And it's the most abrupt ending ever. Actually ever. Because well, at least in my playthrough, I installed the null wave device. I went to activate it. The robot, that's supposed to be me stands in my way. It's like, I can't let you do this. We got to destroy the base. My brother's there being like, no, hit the null wave device. And I pretty much, it's the classic scenario where you got a gun and you just got to kill one or the other. Naturally, I kill my robot. I got a pretty funny trophy because the robot's supposed to be you in the past. So, and then you get, if you kill your robot that you made to be yourself, the trophy's called suicide by proxy. Pretty funny, but so killed I guess kind of myself, but the robot that's made to represent me. Activated the null wave device, killed all the Typhon, I guess. And then it's just, the brother, Alex, just does a miniature monologue. And then that's just the end. And then credits roll. And I swear to God, I was just I just had a bit of a look of really? I sunk, I think the final screen said 34 hours. I sunk 34 hours into this game. And this is my ending that I get. It was so abrupt. I was like, okay, this has got to be the bad ending or something because clearly I did something wrong. And then I kind of look into it. It's like, no, that's one of the 2 main endings. And apparently there is a bad ending that is just escaping and just saying screw it all, which I did have the objective to do. But I never did it because I was like, yeah, that seems like a trap. But apparently that's the actual bad ending. So if these endings are abrupt, I can only imagine what that ending's like, man. Good God. So anyways, that was that. And then of course, major spoiler, post credit scene is the real ending, which I will say, you know, makes it a little bit less of a kick in the balls. I will say little less of a kick in the face type of ending, where apparently it was all a simulation. Which I know, I get how that sounds. I mean, look, for me at least, it wasn't as bad as it seems. Because yes, I know it was all a simulation slash it was all a dream is like probably the worst plot twist you could ever put in anything ever. But I mean, I think they handled it fairly well. Turns out you're a typhon infused with human things or whatever, so I don't know. I do a bit of you kind of got to go through it all yourself to really appreciate the subtleties in the narrative. But hey, it was pretty good. I was really good. I really liked it. Again, I talked about like the freedom and stuff it gives you. Loved that aspect about it. I really liked. I already said the opening. That's fantastic. I like the choice, man. Because I kind of said more gameplay choice was great, but narrative choice, man, because you could really do anything, especially when it comes to like, you know, being a normal person versus being an absolute sociopath. So because pretty much anybody you come across, you could just immediately ice them, like on the spot. Which is always hilarious because you can tell that you could tell the developers definitely had that in mind. So they made sure to like introduce your brother in person like very late in the game, so you don't just immediately whack him like at the beginning, because he's kind of developed as kind of being the bad guy. So for sure that people are just gonna gun him down first chance they get. But they tried to at least make it so that it seems like he could be good, so that maybe you don't immediately whack him. But it's funny. I want to do a second playthrough just being an absolute sociopath, and apparently there's a trophy for that. So I guess I will be doing that at some point, because I do think I'm gonna platinum this game because it's just so good. I like it. I like it a lot. What do you want me to say? It's a good game. Play it. Especially if you played BioShock and like it. It's basically like BioShock but deeper, gameplay wise, in terms of choice wise. The thing is, BioShock is a bit limiting, but again, I mean, people said before, but it's part of the narrative, which I get. However, this is great because it gives you so much actual choice. I can only imagine, but whatever. But yeah, it was a great game. I really liked it. Yeah, what a time to run out of things to talk about. We almost made it, boys. We almost made it. Oh well, I've got like a minute anyhow, so I'm just gonna start wrapping it up. So yeah, so I just finished up talking about Prey. I'll come back later. Hopefully tomorrow. If Luke ever gets back to me, maybe we could pull something tomorrow. But, maybe I could get him on the old pod. You never know. It could happen. It could happen to you, but we'll see. So yeah, anyways, well, I'll be back. Hopefully he answers me tonight. He does have a bit of a problem with answering me, in a timely manner. But look, we've all got our problems. At least when he does answer, he's usually available, so I guess I've got that going for me. But anywho, just doing my thing. So yeah, I guess there's not much more to say than, anybody who, any sociopath who made it this deep into the podcast. I mean, hats off to you, man, because I'm not sure I would even stand an hour straight of my rambling, but Thank you anyways if you somehow made it all the way through. I'll see you guys later. Hopefully tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll probably post this in like a week because that's just the way I operate most of the time. But, it be what it be. So that's that. Gonna have a happy finals week. Final week of classes, boys. We're there. We're almost done. So that's gonna be a good time. Gonna be in. See you guys later. Thank you very much. Outro music a playing. I don't know how to do the outros still, so I'm just gonna say goodbye. And when I say goodbye, that'll be the end. See you later. End of the podcast. It's the end of the